Hi, welcome everyone. Today we're talking to Muriel Arnal from the animal welfare organization One Voice. Last week, her organization helped save a lion from a circus in France, and the lion was extremely skinny, like it was starving. Can you tell us some more about how the lion is doing now?
Well, hello. We name him John for Jon Snow because we're hoping he's going to survive, but for now we are not sure. He's doing okay. He's eating slowly, little by little, gaining a little weight, but it's way too soon to say that he's going to survive this.
Yeah, because here we see some footage of him. This is when he was brought to you, and they're looking at his teeth because he looked. Not only is he very skinny, also his teeth were gone and his claws were pulled.
Yes, he has been declawed. His teeth have been ground down, and his tail is in very bad conditions. It's cut really deeply with deep wounds, so he's in very, very bad conditions. He also has wounds all over his body.
And wounds that were done by the zoo, or like he's hit, or that. What do you think happened?
We know he's been treated very violently, like all lions in circuses, unfortunately.
And we see some, like here we actually see how skinny he is. His whole back is basically just gone.
Is just bones and skin, and in very bad shape, barely any hair. The experts who helped us rescue John told us that they had never seen a lion in such bad shape in all their career, even in countries at war, when some zoos are left with no care for the animals. Well, John is in worse shape than that. So it's quite worrying because 4 lionesses are still in the truck of the circus at this time.
Yeah, we have some footage also of the circus, because you saved. This is footage of the circus. These are the 4 lions you're talking about, right?
These are the 4 lionesses. We tried to rescue them 2 years ago and we filed a complaint for cruelty, but everything was cancelled. So we filed a new complaint and also a complaint against the state, the prefect, the head of the region for our government, because this is not a normal situation. We cannot leave these animals to die in the truck.
And basically, can you tell something? What is, so what do you know about, you've named him John, what do you know about him? Like, what was his, where does he come from? Do you have any idea? How long has he been in the zoo?
We have no information about John. Like most circus animals in France, we have no information. We don't know his age. We don't know his name. We just know what the vets saw when we rescued him.
And the circus is also not cooperative. They don't give you any information, or it's...
Circus trainers just focus their attention on hiding information, on keeping animals in illegal condition, in addition to being cruel. They have illegal conditions for all these animals. 2 years ago, there were 3 lions that were illegally detained in the circus. We don't know what the 2 other have become. What's become of them? We have no idea where they are. Are they among the lionesses who now have papers? We don't know.
And this is still legal in France? Because we're based in Amsterdam or in Holland, but it's illegal here to have circuses with wild animals.
It's still legal. There are fewer and fewer circuses. 20 years ago, when we started the campaign, there were about 20 circuses with wild animals. Now there are less than 60, but it's only because the public doesn't go there anymore. So the circuses have been closing down year after year, but our government is doing nothing. We spent 6 months in meetings, monthly meetings with the government, with the Minister of Ecology, and she hasn't made any announcement. We've been waiting for a whole year now.
And we have a question from Thomas. He says, how can these circus people even present a lion in such a bad shape? But I think, John, was he being used as a lion in the circus?
No, John was kept in the trailer the whole time because he was only used for breeding. Because what they do is the lion cubs, they sell them to people, to private owners, which is a traffic. It's illegal also, but that's what circuses do. And it's illegal to keep a lion without presenting him on the show. So everything was illegal about John, but still he remained in the circus for many years, being very cruelly treated. And that's the situation we have in France, and it's it's a big concern for us.
So how long have you followed John? Like, how long did you follow this specific lion?
We've been following circuses for 20 years, but we discovered John a few months before we should have confiscated him in 2018. And we've been following the circus ever since for the past 2 years, and sending alerts to, warnings and desperate calls to the authorities, and they have done nothing, though it's their job to do that, to interfere and to protect these animals.
And yeah, especially in this case, because you said he wasn't being used as an animal in the zoo, so then they couldn't keep him, and they had to.
Yes.
But, so, like, if you follow from 2018, you know of his whereabouts, then he's been in a small place ever so the past 2 years. He's basically lived in a very, very small cage.
Every time our investigators filmed him, he was in the trailer, which is also illegal, because they should have, put a cage, an outside cage, but that was not the case. So everything is illegal, and it's been going on for years and years. And just like declawing is illegal, grounding the teeth is illegal, everything is illegal, but still, people just close their eyes and ignore the problems.
And so how did it finally happen that you could save him? So the police eventually, yeah.
The wildlife police have been wonderful all the way. We've been working with the people in charge of wildlife in France, and they are very serious and professional. The problem is more the normal authorities that just close their eyes and don't want to hear about the problem. And they even said that there was no problem. They went inside the circus at the end of April, on April 27th, and they said that all the lions looked in good shape.
And that was the authorities that said that?
Yes, the prefect.
And John, the lion we just saw, who was extremely skinny, was also just there.
John was there, and 6 weeks before his confiscation, his rescue. So you can see that he was already in a bad shape. There's no way he was in a good shape at the time. And we were very, very worried for the lionesses, very worried.
But what can you do to confiscate those if it's legal?
We have sent expert opinions, and we have asked for an expert to go and assess their shape, how they are treated, their health, because now we don't trust the authorities. Because you see, the vet authorities in France visited the circus also at the end of April.
Yeah, that's true. But that is a problem that is in more countries, because even when it's like cows and slaughterhouses, they have all these rules, and a lot of times veterinarians go there and say everything is okay, it's fine. So that happens. The same happens with these.
Exactly.
With these lions. You just said you don't think he's gonna make it because he looks so extremely bad.
We hope he will. He's a fighter. We thought he'd given up, but he's a fighter, and he's a very, very nice and kind lion, very sweet lion. So,
and where is he now?
He's in a sanctuary called Tonga, which is a shelter for wildlife in the south of France. And if he recovers fully, he will be sent to South Africa. So we hope he will be able to.
And veterinarians, did they say something about his age? What do they think, how old he is, or can they tell anything by his teeth? Or
the problem is he has no teeth. It's just they're raw. It must be very, very painful for him. They say his age is between 10 and 15 years old. So
10 and 15.
Yes, so he would be 20, would be an old lion, and it might explain the state he's in, but that's not the case. He's not that old. So he is like that, skinny and unhealthy, because the circus made him like that.
And the circus didn't. Is he ill that he got so skinny, or the circus doesn't feed them well?
We believe that the circus did not feed the lions and treated them very violently. Circus trainers are extremely violent. So it's a bit of everything.
And your organization deals with this for a long time. Can you tell us something? Because you say extremely violent. Like, what do we have to train lions? Like, what do they do?
Food deprivation, water deprivation, and then the animals know that it's a matter of life and death, and they need to. The animals need to obey. And then there's the beating, there's the brutality, all the time. And the suffering also is the fact that they cannot hide. They are never alone and in a quiet place. The trainer can access them all the time. The public can see them all the time. And these are wild animals, and they're scared. They're scared of humans. And at no time do they have a peaceful moment for themselves. So they go mad and they walk from one end to the other, and that's all they do. And John still does that in where he is now. So they're trying to keep him busy.
By playing with him.
Yes, they gave him balls and trunks and wood. So he's very scared of anything which is metal, because the cage he was in is in metal.
Yeah. And is he not scared of people?
He doesn't seem to. He doesn't seem scared of people. It seems he's understood that we were there to help him, really.
And so this is sorry. But this is also so in your, like what you said about him. This is also I think the lion you saw in the worst shape ever yourself.
Yes, definitely. Yes, we saw animals in very, very bad shape in circuses, especially elephants, but not lions. Not that bad.
And how many animals are in captivity now in France that you know? How many circuses are there, and how many lions and elephants?
Elephants less than 30 now, so it's a bit better. Hundreds of lions and tigers, because unfortunately they breed easily, and there's a big trade, and that's why it's very difficult to know which lion is which. And the ministry doesn't keep a register of the animals. Although there are endangered animals with CITES papers, nobody knows who they are, where they come from, where they were born.
And so they're in France, like a Western and European Union country, there are like so many animals in captivity, so many lions in captivity. Yeah. And I think most of them are in bad shape, and they're being used to
go on the show, to cross fire, but there were thousands of animals when we started the campaign 20 years ago, thousands of them, of wild animals. So it's getting better thanks to the public, and we cannot thank them enough for not going to see these shows, because that's the main thing that we can do now, since the authorities are closing their eyes and not doing anything.
And do you see an end coming to this, an end to circuses in France?
Okay. Yes, because people don't want to go anymore. People understand the suffering. They don't want to see it anymore. Every time a circus stops in a town, people tell us. And so we can send investigators, we can file complaints, we can ask experts to give their opinion. So it's all made public now. So it's going to end. But it's a shame that France is not doing it, as so many countries have been doing it, taking a ban. There should be a ban in France. We're going to be the last. There are only 6 countries now in the EU without a ban, and France is one of them. It's a shame. I'm ashamed of what I saw when I saw John the first time. It's France. It's not like people are dying of hunger or animals are dying of hunger.
Yeah.
And we're under bombs. We are not at war. Why do we let this happen? And this is really, really bad.
That's exactly what you're saying now. That is because I interviewed someone else in Sudan. Those pictures also made headlines. 2 elephants that was at a zoo, but they looked exactly like this elephant. And this is just France. This is right around the corner from us. And It's unbelievable. But this picture like went, I think, also viral in France. Doesn't the government then think like, oh my God, this is our country. We don't want this to happen in our country?
They say, no, they say he was in good shape 6 weeks before and all was all right. So suddenly in 6 weeks, he becomes, no weight at all, completely skinny, declothed, no teeth, covered with scars, suddenly.
So now after this, because this happened last week and it was news all over. So after this came out, the government says, oh no, he was in great shape 6 weeks ago.
Yes. And we are going to look into the lionesses case as if there was no emergency. I mean, when you see John, you can only imagine what the lionesses look like.
Yeah, they must also be declawed and everything, and I don't even want to know about their teeth.
Exactly, we don't know. We just know that they may die and be replaced, and nobody will know because it's a big traffic. I mean, circus people just never abide by the law, and the authorities close their eyes all the time.
And the breeding, is that a side thing circuses do to make money? Breeding a lion? Okay.
Absolutely, they make money because they sell for cash the lion cubs. They sell them for cash, and then we find them on TV shows or in private homes, and people don't know what to do with them, and they let them to die. But the circuses trainers don't care; they've got their money, and this is illegal also. And the authorities should do something about this. But
yeah,
still,
I didn't even know there was a whole breeding thing going on also, that they make, because I can imagine circuses are making less money because less people come. So they found a side way to make money then by breeding.
absolutely, and God knows what else. God knows what else, because these people, nothing is legal, nothing is right. You see. And it's amazing that every time we go, there are trucks. There's a truck with a hippo inside. The truck doesn't have brakes, and there's nothing to say. Leave them alone.
There's a hippo in a circus in France still?
There are 2 hippos in circuses in France. One of them doesn't even have a pool. He's locked in a truck day and night. He goes out 30 minutes per day in front of the public. That's all that happens to him. We proved it. We went to court. The circus was condemned in court, but the hippo is still inside the circus. We had found a place in a sanctuary for him. That's France. It's animals and the planet and nature in France are treated extremely badly.
I'm so surprised. We're talking about the lion. I'm so surprised that more animals are, and it's like you said, it's France and wildlife animals. But how can it be that it got condemned in court and then they still have the hippo? Because nobody.
They will pay a fine, but they can keep the hippo. The judge said you can keep the hippo. It doesn't make sense. You see?
Yeah.
There's an elephant, an elephant locked 24 hours a day inside a truck in the dark. We proved it. She's still there. You see,
that is unbelievable.
It's very difficult, and that's why information is very important. And there are tourists abroad, and if they come back to France, well, we ask them, don't go to the circus, don't go close to the circus, because that's how we're going to free these animals one by one.
Yes. Thank you very much for this interview. And thank you very much for the work you do. There were some more comments, but it's all in French, so I don't understand. You can see it afterwards. I don't understand it. But thank you so much for the work you do. And please keep me updated on how everything goes. And I hope France will really soon, hopefully this year even, make it illegal. If you said they're 1 out of 6 countries, I hope they will make it illegal very soon.
It would be a wise move from them.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.